Hello all, and greetings from Nigel's home. Today in this video we're going to be talking about drying fruit. In Nigel's case it's going to be apples, and what you're viewing at the moment is a variety of dried apples. Nigel's going to tell us all about it. If we look at one of these pieces close up, that's what it looks like. And I'm going to take you over to Nigel now, and he's going to tell us a bit more. Okay, Nigel?
Yeah. We're quite keen on saving some of our apples through the winter, but not all varieties keep. And what's really useful, if you have a variety like, say, Discovery, which only keeps for a few days, is to have a way of preserving it through the winter so you can cook it or use it for other things. And a very good way of doing this is to dry the fruit using a dehydrator. Now if you look at this bit of kit we've got here, this is actually a Swiss dryer. A friend of ours lives in Switzerland where they do a lot of this sort of preserving by drying, and it's actually called a dehydrator. There's the manufacturer's name, look, but there are English makers now, and the idea is that you can preserve your fruit without having to take up freezer space.
And also existing apples, what you've got, will shrink right down in size, because basically this machine takes the water out. Am I right there, Nigel?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. There we are.
And if you have, say, 7 or 8 pounds of apples, well, by the time you've dried them like this, they weigh less than a pound. So they shrink by about 90%.
Okay.
So you get an enormous amount of dried fruit. An enormous amount of apples forms a small amount of very concentrated dried fruit.
Now I've already, sorry folks, I'm eating this. it shrunk. These machines come with various layers.
That's right.
Now Nigel's got several of these upstairs. And
yeah, you can see at the bottom there's a fan with a heater on it, and it blows hot air up to about 70 degrees C, but you can change the temperature, and it blows the hot air through a series of trays. We've actually got 7 trays. The machine comes with 3. If you want any more, you have to buy extra ones.
Okay, and how many is the maximum, do you know?
Maximum, well, I've only used 7. I think you could probably get away with using about a dozen.
Okay. And is it easy to clean? I noticed a bit of debris at the bottom there.
It is quite easy to clean, but it gets quite hot at the bottom, so there won't be any bacteria there.
Okay.
But we clean it fairly regularly, but I did some drying yesterday and I've not got round to cleaning it yet.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we're looking at the dried fruit here. Tell us about how the process then.
Right, now the way you actually do the drying, you have to take the skin off the apple first. So, yeah, I've got an apple here that's starting to go over. It's past its best. So you need an apple coring tool. I've got one there, small one, and a bit bigger one there.
Okay, I didn't realise this, folks, but you get these in different sizes.
Yeah, I don't think they actually come as a set of different sizes, but if you buy them in different shops, you'll find they are different manufacturers, and they are different.
Yeah. So
what you need to do first is to take the core out of the apple, like that. Right, so you can see through that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And then, now Julie was telling me, oh, where's my knife gone?
Right, now this is the bit what Nigel didn't realise. In this day and age you can actually get a peeler from the supermarket or your hardware, and you don't need to use a knife to peel the apple.
Remember where my knife is.
Now Nigel's gone and lost his...
Yeah.
I'm not
Let me find my knife.
Yeah, so he uses a knife to peel still, which is what which is what I was doing until about 1994, when I discovered in Australia that you can get these apple peelers, potato peelers, and anyway, so Nigel's going to buy one of those.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. If you can tell me where to get one from. Off the internet, possibly.
I got mine up from Morrison's, but all supermarkets tend to have them. But
right, okay.
Morrison's were quite sturdy.
And Julie tells me that they peel much more quickly than
and you
what
get
I'm
less
doing
wastage. It takes the amount off.
Right. Okay, so there we go, so that's peeled that. Now this is a fairly average size apple, so I would slice it probably into 4 or 5. You want the slices about 1/4 of an inch to 1/3 of an inch thick. And you can see on one of these I haven't quite taken the core out. You can see there's a little bit of
scarring.
Yeah, that's right. And to make them really good, you make sure that you haven't got any of those. So I've got my other tool and just take that off. Okay, so that one's done, and now we put that in the box. And when you've got, well, when I've got a box full, that fills a tray. Take it upstairs and switch on the dryer. We can just perhaps switch that on so people can hear what it sounds like.
Okay,
It is a sort of background.
Can I have another piece?
Oh yeah, help yourself.
Oh.
There we go. So you can see it's not really noisy, but if you were listening to a quiet programme on the radio, you probably want to go into a different room. And the other thing you need to bear in mind is if you use this in the winter, well in the summer as well I guess, it gives out about 200 watts of heat through the top. So it does actually warm the room up. It's like a little fan heater. I don't think I've got much more to say about that, other than the dried fruit is very, very good for cooking. So you can make a lovely apple pie. If you make apple pie with this, it all rehydrates because all the chemicals are still in there in the apple.
Right.
The only thing it's lost is water. And so a pie made with this, you can't really tell that it's not fresh.
Oh, right. Okay.
So it's very good.
We'll leave it with that then. Thanks a lot for that.
Okay.
Click.